Day 1. The river rives the landscape, pushes it apart. The galahs wheel overhead and you look for footprints of people in the damp banks. The river is made for a painter, its surface a smear of unexpected pink. It resists rain. This river is a river of painters, a river of thought and shapes of ideas, a river observed. It is hardly itself, lapsing between the banks, full of promise of trips in rowing boats, of quiet days of adulthood. This is my river. Day 2. It's still there, surviving a night of filling rain, and is impassive under its old lady coquette scarves. A bird calls, poet, poet, poet.
Now that distance is solved, difference resolved, now that you can, now that it isn't, post, pre-Reformation, empires crumble, reform the next location, as self. The mean of generalisation in the individual's back pocket, a reflexive net across difference, a finite law within. Everything's relative in the doctrine of commodities, post-Renaissance reconnaissance body transcending in a stock market of reality-inducing abstractions, cheap analysis-seducing reduction. For your convenience, high above honest Plato's strategy, an internet sky channels into a privatised black hole. A host of Bub's boys rise from the ashes of socialism, sacrificial lamb whittled from the consensus of mates. Born-again bureaus meet next to be business boomers, murdocked in a tabloid of nows pay for the right to say, and still illustrating the integrated verticals of capitalised fate. Out of here.
He's in Victoria, and he's currently undertaking doctoral work within the Writing and Society Research Group at the University of Western Sydney. Can you hear me, Patrick?
Yes, I can hear. Yep.
I'm handing it over to you now. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, I've actually prepared a written piece that I'm trying to get up on the screen. Today I speak on behalf of my household, artist as family, and our very intentional practice of transition away from pollution-based ideology. We believe there is a direct exchange between the resources we consume and the kind of poetries we make. I call this exchange permapoiesis. Permapoiesis is the portmanteau for permanent meaning making, a term I've developed incorporating permaculture principles to define a practice of art that participates in what it represents, that includes its environment, generates no way, but operates in the flux space of everyday life. Our first project was to spend 17 days in Newcastle as a kind of family holiday, foraging for ants.
And I'll read you one more, the text that I have typed onto the photograph, onto the Pinot photograph in the sequence that is at the back. And I used an old typewriter and I typed it straight into the surface of the photograph. And the text reads, in the summer of 1886, house and roof, horse and cart, water tank and fireplace. And the child almost frightening in its ignorance of the future. To the west, the crimson of the setting sun, he sits in the center of the hut. To the east, the pale yellow of the fading light. For a while he sits motionless, and then again for a while he sits at the center of the universe, at the table with the wonky legs. So all of this has always been here. Branches etched against the sky, a short burst of birdsong, the dark echoes. A calmness leaves him with time to notice that night has fallen, like someone who has witnessed.
I've written a poem, in a sense, about that woman in the painting called Who Can Say When Her Time Is? This is a song of the white, the multitude or the pattern, the rose or the wind, a woman who begins, a woman who disappears, a woman drinking blossom's shadow. There's a taste that becomes with spring's movement. Its dreaming is intense. She knows her secret virtue can be seen in the water moon that must be, surely, lying low somewhere near. Her body composes its treasures beyond all the experts in confusion. Her burdens lightly gather round. The Pure Land or fever dreams, plumes or rejected solutions, the many in one or chaos. She's never alone among memories. What's supposed to occur now is incidental to what happens. Rising from the grass are fences and clouds, those little brothers playing games with the instant. The moon takes its time. Thank you.
Here. 10. The drum roll rain, and then the brushes. Blankets above us and bed below, tiptoe off the veranda for rainbows, sun showers, all you can dream. And all night the rain runs after us, the rain hobbles, the drum roll rain, and then the brushes, sacred to the memory and secret of the rain. And I'm just going to finish.
Even when a rogue flake floats down, kinder, flatter, lighter than the rest, in time all notes connect. Close by, people pick at shadows in the ice. Dog barks
平行在它们温暖的漩涡之下，停在斑点和排斥下。年轻男孩把平滑雪橇堆在圣诞事物上，金额这一堆旺盛、精力旺盛的结冰就是他的。